Hello and welcome back to Dreamwalker Tarot. My name is Dawn and this is the October reading for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mercury. I'm pulling a 5-card spread from the Grand Tableau, little Norman deck for you guys to kind of gauge the energy for this month. Let's see. We have Coffin. We have the Crossroads. We have the Clouds. We have the Sun. And we need one more card. And there we have it, the Mountain. So let's talk about this. So we have, again, the Coffin, which is a symbol of, it could literally be a symbol of death, but more often than not, it's not really about death. It's really about something coming to an end, a closure, a period of closure for something. We have the Crossroads, which is ultimately a choice, a card about choice. So coming to the space where you are put in the position where you have to make a choice about something. In the center of the reading, we have the Clouds, which is an indication about confusion. So it feels like you might have some confusion going on about a choice that you might have to make, potentially about something that you have to let go or something that you have to die. Or it might just be that you're in a space where you've had to make a choice in something and let something go. And now you're just really confused about the space that you're in. With the Sun card here, the Sun card is an indication of happiness. But then right next to it is the Mountain card, which is an indication of difficulty. So for some of you, you might go through a period where you are extremely happy, but then there's also a period of difficulty as well. And I don't know if those two things could coexist in the same space, but it does feel like there is the ability to still be happy even though you're going through a difficult period, which is probably just something that Spirit is kind of desiring and wanting for you, possibly because they have something in store for you that they're working on. So even though you are going through a difficult time and you might be a little bit confused about the choices that you have to make, about things that you might need to let go, about situations or people that you might need to let go. And while there might be a sense of difficulty attached to that, I feel like ultimately there is a sense of happiness on its way. It does feel like there has been something that has come to an end, and so the ending of that might be a little bit confusing for you, or just you might be confused about how to deal with the ending of something, or if it is the Coffin is also attached to like grief and mourning and sorrow. So there might be something that you are grieving the loss of, and so you're a little bit confused about it because you might feel like, should I really even be grieving this? Is this something to grieve? Is this a loss that's really a loss? Like, did I lose it, and does it matter that I lost it? I mean, I'm supposed to have it, but now that I don't have it, it does feel like there's some sort of confusion about how you should feel about this particular ending. You know, whether it be a relationship, whether it be losing a person in your life, which is kind of sucky to say, but you might have lost someone in your life, whether they physically died or they're just, the relationship, it has ended. And it's like, even though they're gone, it's like low-key you feel happy about it, and that is kind of confusing for you, right? With the Mountain card here, and the Sun card, and also the Clouds, it does feel like there's a period of uncertainty that's happening in your life where you're not really sure about, where it's going to go, because it does seem to be like a difficult situation attached to this. And so there might be some confusion about You know, what is your next step? Like like how do you move forward? What are you going to be doing moving forward? And how are you going to get through this difficult period? So there is a lot of confusion here. So let's go ahead and pull cards from the Rider-Waite. I shuffled these already. I'm just going to shuffle them up a little bit again. Just a little bit. So, okay. So right now, there does seem to be a situation where you're dealing with like your finances, really juggling your finances. Here we have the Two of Pentacles, and that's just really kind of, there's a saying that we used to have, like robbing Peter to pay Paul. So it does feel like you're kind of juggling your finances. For some of you, this could be due to you dealing with having to juggle your finances within the confines of a relationship. The Lover's card is talking about communication as well, and also just making decisions about that. So this kind of feels like within your relationship, within your household, one of you is kind of handling the finances for both people, and kind of juggling, you know, things that need to get paid or something within the household. Some of you could be dealing with a Gemini person, and so you have dual feelings, or you could have dual feelings about where to spend your money or whether or not to invest into the start of a relationship with a Gemini. Or you might be juggling two different lovers, juggling two different people, right? We're gonna look at the past. What is the past of this situation? What is the past? So in the past, we have the Four of Cups, right? We have the Four of Cups where it might have been a situation where you're mourning. Like, obviously, we just finished talking about loss. And so this card is really indication of someone focused on the loss, but not necessarily focused on the fact that this loss, there's also, how do I say this? There's also a gift in this loss. So even though you might have lost something, there's a gift here. There's something that's happening here that you don't see yet. You're not acknowledging it, but there's something attached to this loss that's not as necessarily as bad as you think it is, right? I don't know why I couldn't spit that out. Okay, what is Virgo consciously aware of right now? What are you consciously aware of? So again, this is definitely talking about like a family dynamic. I think the card is in the reverse, so I think you're focused on the happiness that you have in the situation, whether or not you're going to lose it, whether it's going to disappear. But on the subconscious, we have the Ten of Pentacles, which is kind of interesting, right? On the subconscious, we have the Ten of Pentacles, and in the conscious, we have the Ten of Cups in the reverse. That's very interesting. Let me take a look at the outcome here before I talk about this. Look at the outcome. Okay. Let's talk about this, right? The Ten of Cups in reverse is really talking about like a situation where on a domestic level, you might feel a little bit unfulfilled. There might be a little bit of conflict at home. maybe some fighting, and maybe just feeling a little bit isolated, a little bit depressed. But it is really talking about like the emotional aspect or the emotional fulfillment that you experience within the home. And I think a lot of this is attached to childhood um, childhood issues that might have happened or occurred as a result of finances, and how finances play an issue within the dynamic of a family. So if like there is one person in the family that is like working and the other person isn't, it's like, okay, so we're not happy because we don't have all the money coming in, and it just feels like someone is upset, or someone's unhappy about the situation because, you know, one person is kind of bearing the brunt of the financial aspect in this relationship, right? But that is like a training. That's something that you were taught. Like, I mean, I know that money is important. Like, getting bills paid can be stressful. Relationships break up a lot of the times due to the fact to financial issues. So we're not going to try to act like that's not a concern. But it does look like, even though one person might have lost a job and is mourning the loss of the job, and is there's like a hardship here financially, ultimately there's something that's being offered. There's a gift that's being offered, and it right here, someone is working towards establishing this type of financial stability and security in the long term. So right now there might be an issue going on with finances and money, and that kind of like being at the center of like a little bit of a conflict or chaos within the household. But ultimately there is a sense of financial stability happening here, financial security. This is long term, right? This is not just right now, this is long term. So right now the situation might look like that, but I do feel like with this card here, there is something that you're missing. There's something that you're not seeing. There is something that's being offered to you. And it could mean, like, if you're the person that isn't working and you're feeling kind of messed up because you feel like you're not contributing to the situation, the other person that you're dealing with is openly communicating with you that they have your back, and that they're offering you that what you need. Instead of you focusing on what you don't have or what you're lacking, you should focus on what you do have, because ultimately, in the end, we have the Six of Wands, which is a victorious card, right? We also have the Hermit in reverse. And so ultimately it does feel like you come out of that space of feeling sad and feeling you know, kind of like isolating yourself and separating yourself because you feel, you know, you're having a hard time. But ultimately there is a win. There's a victory to be had here. And I feel like you should just open up your eyes to it, because there's a blessing here. There's a blessing here that you're not necessarily seeing. And I feel like with there's like a element of like the Eight of Pentacles playing out here. And there's also an element of the Six of Cups, which is really talking about like childhood memories attached to being unhappy in the household due to like a financial deficit, or feeling like you're kind of reverting backwards when it comes to like your finances, when it comes to the work that you're putting in. The Eight of Pentacles energy is really all about putting in work, right? And so some of you might feel like you're putting in work, but you're not necessarily getting the results that you want to see from the work that you're putting in. And so that is kind of, you know, it's definitely putting you in a space where you're feeling a little bit confused. Like, so now the other spread kind of makes sense. There's like an overall sense of confusion for you because you are going through a difficult time. Even though you might not, whatever it is that you lost, you might not necessarily be mourning it, but it does feel like there's an attachment to it and it's necessary. So if it is like a situation where you've lost a job or your partner has lost a job, you know, obviously you need the money, but there's something else coming for you guys. So I don't think that you should focus too much on it. There's a blessing attached to this, right? So let's look at the Ten of Cups in reverse. Please, let's get a clarification for the Ten of Cups. We have the Nine of Cups, which is the wish card, right? So getting like your wish fulfilled, getting that emotional that you need, you're gonna get that. And then there's also the Six of Pentacles, and that is in the upright. So it's kind of ultimately, I feel like you're getting what you need. You're getting what you need, and I know it might not feel that way, but you are. Someone is definitely here offering their cup to you. It could, like I said, it could be this person here. So, I mean, there is some type of confusion going on with how to feel about the situation. But ultimately, you are being cared for and you are being nurtured in a way. And so I think that's the thing. Like, you need to look at your attachments to how you value yourself based on your finances and what you bring to the table in a relationship, right? What is the Hermit in reverse here for? What is the Hermit in reverse here for? The Queen of Swords. So some of you could be dealing with an air sign. So we have Libra, we have Gemini again coming up, and we also have a Libra. So some of you could be dealing with a Libra. You could also be dealing with a Virgo, you know, another Virgo like yourself. But sometimes when we are dealing with feeling isolated, feeling upset, withdrawing, sometimes the words don't necessarily come out the right way, and the communication can be a little bit strained because of that. But ultimately, that is something that you're going to be navigating out of, and everything is going to work out for the good of those who trust what's happening and trust the process, right? So trust the process, Virgo. We're going to look at some advice cards for you guys. What is the advice? Oh, I like that card for you. The card that came out, the first card that came out, because I feel like, yeah, there's more, is Divine Timing, right? And Omen. And Anger. Let's look at anger first. What are you mad about? Let's see. A very strong and primal emotion, anger sometimes catches us by surprise. At other times, it seethes just under the surface, simmering a long while until it boils over, scalding anyone who is close. Anger is based in fear. Fear of loss of control, fear of not being loved, fear of being judged, fear of not being enough. When anger enters your life, be it yours or someone else's, go beneath the surface and try to understand the real fear that has triggered it. Anger doesn't go away without addressing the underlying fear. Alternately, be aware of someone's anger directed towards you. So this is this person here, right? This is them communicating in a really screwed up way because they're mad or they're upset or they're emotional about something and they don't know how to express it. And when they do express it, it comes out all wrong. And now at the center of that is a sense of fear. Because like I said, there is something attached here to the family dynamic and also things that have happened in your childhood with your association to what makes you happy, and money and all of that good stuff is attached to that. And so if a person has, like I said earlier, if someone has lost a job, like for instance, if they lost a job, they might be afraid of what that is going to look like in the context of the family dynamic. And so now instead of just expressing that, they're lashing out. So if that happens, just be aware that when someone lashes out at you, there's always something else underlying. And if that is like a partner of yours, this is a conversation that needs to happen to kind of clear the air and clear the understanding. And then to have them realize here that you are offering up your cup to them no matter what, right? Sometimes they might not know that, and they might not see that, and they might be kind of caught up in their own feelings. And it's okay to kind of, have that conversation, right? So the next card is Omen. Hawks are messengers. This majestic bird flies high and reaches the realms of the spirit. They bring back messages from both the seen and the unseen. Drawing this card speaks of focus and intuition. Pay attention to the coincidences in your life right now. Focus on where you want to go. How high do you want to fly? When you see a hawk, someone is trying to get your attention. Someone is trying to get your attention. Pay attention to serendipity in your life. Be glad, for this is a reminder that you are living in the flow of energy and things will shift soon. So someone is trying to get your attention, right? So pay attention. There's something there. There's something there that you're not seeing. And the last card is divine timing. How often do you feel that you want things in your life to change now? Not 2 years from now, not even 2 months, but right this instant. Seldom do we see the whole picture of why our lives are unfolding the way that they are. We don't need to. What we need to do is surrender to the way that things are right now. This doesn't mean to take action when a situation is untenable. What it means is to let your life unfold before you so that you have access to all the information, all the lessons, and all the people you will need to go where you are headed. Divine timing is at work in this situation, and try not to fight it. Instead, go within during meditation and ask the questions you want answers to. Why not now? How can I best prepare myself? What lessons do I need to learn prior to the change I want to see? And you will get all of the answers, because the hawk, there are messages coming in. Some of you might be having dreams that are giving you messages. You're getting messages from the seen and the unseen realm. So just pay attention to those messages, because they are here to kind of help you through this difficult situation that you're currently going through, okay? So this is the end of the reading, guys. I'm so glad that you are here. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate you. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for post notification. If you like the video, Tell me in the comment section if any of this kind of resonates with you or is kind of relatable to what you're going through right now. And share the video with a friend if you feel like they could benefit from the message here. And again, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.